Good morning, everybody. This is Electronic Editions, home of Electronic News Network. We are here again today live. It is March the 9th. It is 8 a.m. today. We're going to be taking news off our LinkedIn page today, guys. If you haven't already followed us on LinkedIn, we'll leave a link in the description, as well as our other social media channels down below. Before we move forward, please, guys, like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps us circulate around YouTube so many people can get the updated tech news, privacy updates, software updates, tech deals that are available on the market, daily. Okay. If you guys haven't already please check out our official website, electroniceditions.net. That's electroniceditions.net, as well as you can follow us on our podcast channel as well, as we seem to be doing lots of growth there as well. That's called Electronic News Network, guys. Without further ado, let's get started with news today on our LinkedIn page. All right, we have news on Google, guys. So it looks like the Google Pixel 5a release date could be much earlier than we expected, right? So this is a prominent leaker, John Prosser, guys. We've talked about him in our previous episodes too. When John Prosser initially posted about the future Pixel phone release, we assumed it was the Google Pixel 5a based on the timings. Well, in a follow-up tweet, Prosser has confirmed that his source thinks it's Pixel 5a. This extra information adds credence to our speculation and also makes it seem more like Google I/O will happen on or around June 11th. We'll still wait on official confirmation before making that date in our diaries for a calendar appointment. We've kept the original story below for posterity reasons, as it is written on March 5th when Prosser first posted the information. So it looks like that, we have this prominent technology leaker, John Prosser, right? This guy has been leaking tons of tech information, uh, you know, from news of about the iPhone 12, from the iPhone 13, news about Apple products, Microsoft products. He is a legitimate, he has some real inside information. So now, he's pretty much saying that the Google Pixel 5 is pretty much on the way, and the release date could be much sooner, guys. So for all you Google Pixel fans out there, you guys are definitely going to want to read into this article and learn more too, guys. If you guys want to learn more, please, guys, follow us on LinkedIn, click into the article, and you guys can learn more about that too. So very good news on Google. More news on the Google Pixel 5, and older phones can now read your heart rate, guys. So now it looks like these Google Pixel phones, the newer generation as well as the older one, can now read your heart rate, right? So which is pretty good, right? So if you guys, you don't want to buy a separate heart rate monitor. That's going to be a little bit too expensive. You have the Google Pixel Android. Look no further. You can definitely do that on your phone now, right? So it looks like the Google Pixel range has just picked up a useful new skill as from this week, March 8th. Supported models are getting at an update that allows them to read your heart rate and respiration rate through the Google Fit app, right? So Google has already announced this feature, but the information that it's coming now specifically comes from Android Police, where Google confirmed the feature is rolling out from now. Bear in mind, it may take a while, so it may be several days before all compatible handsets get that update, all right, guys? So just be aware it could take, give it, the next few weeks, especially if you guys want to read more updates on this. You can follow us on LinkedIn, click into the article and learn more. Moreover, guys, in any case, once the features enabled, your Pixel will be able to measure your heart rate when you place a fingertip over the rear camera by analyzing color changes in your skin to pick up a reading, and Google claims that this accurate this is accurate to within 2%, right? So that's not super bad. All right. So um, this is really interesting news, guys, right? So it looks like this is going to be read through the Google Fit app. So if you guys don't have that downloaded already, see if you can download it on your Google device. And if it does work, that's nice. And if you do have an older generation Google, maybe you'll have to wait for the next couple days, the next few weeks until that is able to be enabled on your device. But it looks like this is definitely in the works right now, and it is coming very soon. If not, it's already here on the newer Google Pixel devices. So definitely check that out too, guys. All right. Moreover, guys, we also have news on Hummer, guys. For you guys that don't know Hummer, lots of people in the early 2000s. I remember my barber had a Hummer, big Hummer. You see Hummers in rap videos. You see, lots of celebrities driving Hummers. So it looks like Hummer's electric SUV will be revealed on April 3rd. The General Motors will reveal an SUV version of its all-electric Hummer EV on April 3rd, right? The company announced, right? So the automaker unveiled the pickup truck version with 350 miles of range and a host of high-tech features last October, right? So General Motors, which is producing the electric Hummers under its GMC brand, wouldn't say when the SUV is expected to go on production. The electric pickup truck will start assembly at the end of this year with the highest spec trim level available to its customers first, right? So this is going to be huge, guys. Obviously, we know that there are other electric SUVs out there. General Motors is definitely a great producer in in SUV cars as well too. So with them entering the EV space, I know that they have other electric vehicles as well, Ford electric vehicles. Now they're moving over to Hummer. So we'll see how nice that these specs can really be, guys. And obviously, hopefully, they'll come out with more pictures, more trailers, more videos, so we can get more of a sense of how would that look like. But it looks like it's going to production is going to be starting later this year. So this seems very interesting too, guys. All right. So if you guys want to learn more about it too, guys, also, yeah, so the SUV will be revealed on April 3rd. So let's get ready for that too. We'll definitely let you guys, know more about that event as well too. But if you guys want to learn more information about this too, please follow us on LinkedIn. Click into the article. You guys can learn more about it there. All right, guys. Moreover, um, streaming service, right? So, streaming service Peacock, right, is sharing more details today about how we'll integrate WWE's enormous selection of content later this month when WWE Network becomes part of the NBC Universal streaming service, right? So, that is amazing. So, for you guys that don't know Peacock, guys, Peacock is a pretty new up and coming streaming service. And I didn't know this before, but we talked about this previously in other episodes. Peacock is owned by Comcast, right? So Comcast, the TV network, owns Peacock, right? So, and this is a very great move by Comcast because um, the thing that made Peacock popular, in my opinion, is the fact that it has The Office. It has all episodes of The Office, the show The Office, guys. If you guys don't know, you guys probably do know the show The Office. So, if you don't know, go look it up on Google. It's pretty much one of the most popular shows that's ever been, in TV history. So it acquired this show. Netflix got rid of The Office. Peacock now has The Office. That's what I believe made Peacock big. Now it looks like it's integrating the WWE the network to become part of the NBC Universal streaming service, right? So as announced in January, WWE's new portal will launch on Peacock starting on March 18th. right? So the standalone WWE Network app will shut down in the United States for a few weeks later on April 4th. So that means current subscribers will be able to use the old app for WWE's upcoming Fastlane pay-per-view this month if they want. But come WrestleMania 37, which is happening on April 10th and 11th, Peacock will be the only choice, right? And this is why I say Peacock is literally playing its moves like chess. Peacock is, making great, decisions, and they know what people like. And they're executing on it, which is really good to see, right? So there's no way to transfer a WWE network subscription over to Peacock, but the company is offering wrestling fans an exclusive deal to help ease the move, right? So that is going to be very, very interesting, and looks like the new WrestleMania 37 should be happening and streaming on Peacock as well. So whatever wrestling if you guys are still into WWE, I know when I was a kid, that's all people talked about. Now it will be streaming on Peacock. So definitely, if you guys are not familiar with Peacock, try to get familiar with the streaming app. You might find other shows that you might like on there too. And it shouldn't be super expensive for the subscription too, guys. If you want to learn more about this information too, please, guys, follow us on LinkedIn, click into the article. You guys can learn more about it there. Moreover, guys, we also have Mark Zuckerberg says realistic avatars are Facebook's next big VR bet, right? So Facebook's future virtual reality headsets could capture users' facial expressions for more realistic digital avatars, says CEO Mark Zuckerberg, right? So this can be pretty cool, guys. So it looks like, the headsets could capture users' facial expressions for more realistic digital avatars. And, say if you're in VR mode, you have your VR headset. Now, you're not looking just like at a cartoon block that sort of looks like you. Now actually offering more human-like emotions, facial expressions when you're in VR land, making it even more real, which is amazing by Facebook. Definitely amazing by Mark Zuckerberg. Moreover, in a podcast interview for The Information, Zuckerberg expounded on the next decade in virtual and augmented reality, including Oculus VR devices. One of the things that I'm really excited about for future versions is getting eye tracking and face tracking in, because if you're really excited about social presence, you want to make sure that the device has all the sensors to really kind of animate realistic avatars so you can communicate well like that, Zuckerberg says, right? So this really makes sense, right? So it's going to be just more real like, right? You're going to communicate with realistic avatars, right? So this is probably, many people think that this is going to be the last step. This is a first step forward, guys. This is a first step to, our avatars actually looking like us and speaking like us in the virtual reality. And then, you know, probably in the next 3 to 6 months, once this is actually developed, CEO Mark Zuckerberg could be working on something that's even a little bit more technologically powerful and savvy, and definitely more realistic in the VR and AR world, guys. So this is very, very interesting. Great moves by Facebook. This is going to be pretty big. So if you guys want to learn more about this too, more information on these realistic avatars, please follow us on LinkedIn. Click into the article. You guys can learn more about it there. Moreover, guys, we also have news on the smartphone. OnePlus isn't taking chargers away. So Along with a confirmed release date, we got our first official look at the OnePlus 9 today, and another tidbit of information. It will come with a charger, unlike recent flagships, including the Galaxy S21 and iPhone 12, right? So in a message thread on the company's community forum, OnePlus CEO Pete Lau said that the 9 will ship with a charger in the box, right? So that's pretty good. Recently, Apple and Samsung stopped including chargers with their flagship devices, citing environmental benefits and saying that the customers already had the adapters anyway, right? So the jury's still out on the environmental impact of the move, but it's still sure to have helped the company's bottom lines, right? So that is pretty interesting news on OnePlus 9. And obviously, too, guys, we know that the OnePlus has actually surpassed the ranking in best being the best Chinese smartphone along with Huawei. So it surpassed Huawei. We all know how beautiful Huawei brand phone products are. OnePlus surpassed that, and it's very powerful, very nice smartphone. Personally, I think I might even maybe in the next smartphone that I have might switch over to the OnePlus just to see how intuitive really it feels. All right, so if you guys want to learn more about this information, please guys follow us on LinkedIn, click into the article. You guys can learn more there too. Moreover, guys, we also have move news on Waymo stimulated real world crashes to prove its self-driving cars can prevent deaths, guys. So in a bid to prove that its robot drivers are safer than humans, Waymo simulated dozens of real world fatal crashes that took place in Arizona over nearly a decade. The Google spinoff discovered that replacing either vehicle in a two-car crash with its robot guided minivans would nearly eliminate all deaths, guys. So, according to the data it publicized today, so it's saying that the robots that are able to drive the cars are able to drive safer than humans and actually avoid crashes, right? And or the crashes wouldn't be as fatal, and that really sounds really good, right? So, what does that mean, right? So, the results are meant to bolster Waymo's case that autonomous vehicles operate more safely than driven ones, right? So, with millions of people dying in auto crashes globally every year, AV operators are increasingly leaning on this safety case to spur regulators to pass legislation allowing more fully autonomous vehicles on the road. So this is really cool, guys, right? So it looks like that this company has been doing this research for a long time, nearly a decade now. And that's a long time to be doing some really thorough research on if, self-autonomous driving cars are able to safely drive or are able to drive more safer than humans. That's a long time. So it looks like they're coming up with the conclusion that yes, they are able to drive safer, and this could be a better alternative, right? So this is really interesting news, guys, right? So if you want to learn more about this too, company is called Waymo. Definitely check them out too. You can click on our follow us on LinkedIn, click into the article, and you can learn more there too, guys. And obviously, if we take a step back as well too, we also have companies such as Tesla and a few others as well too that are getting into the autonomous driving space. And so, maybe they're partnering with them in order to do so. 1 second, guys. Yeah. Okay. See you later. Yeah, guys. All right. We also have Sorry, guys, about that. We also have news on Microsoft, right? So Microsoft was warned months ago. Now the Hafnium hack has grown to gigantic proportions, right? So on Friday, cybersecurity journalists Brian Krebs and Andy Greenberg reported that as many as 30,000 organizations had been compromised in an unprecedented email server hack believed to have originated from a state-sponsored Chinese hacking group known as hafnium. Over the weekend, that estimate has doubled to 60,000 Microsoft Exchange Server customers hacked around the world, with the European Banking Authority now admitting that it's one of the victims, and it looks like Microsoft may have taken a little too long to realize the severity and patch it. Krebs has now put together a basic timeline on the massive Exchange server hack, and he says Microsoft has confirmed it was made aware of this vulnerabilities in early January. So honestly, guys, I really do believe, not even hope, that Microsoft is working to, eliminate this threat to its, Exchange server and its network. Honestly, this is originated by the state-sponsored Chinese hacking group known as Hafnium. That is really ridiculous, guys, and they've been warned about this too since early January. So this is 2 months ago, guys. This is before February. This is January, right? So let's go into this. Let's see what are the proactive moves that Microsoft is making to get rid of this threat, right? So moreover, right, so according to this article in The Verge, that's nearly 2 months before Microsoft issued its first set of patches alongside a blog post that didn't explain the scope of the scale of the attack. Originally, it was even planning to wait for one of its standard patch Tuesdays, but relented and pushed it out a week early. So now MIT Technology Review reports Hafnium may not be the only threat, citing a cybersecurity analyst who claims there appear to be at least 5 hacking groups actively exploiting the Exchange server flaws. As of Saturday, government officials are reportedly scrambling to do something. One state official telling Cyberscoop that it's a big effing deal, right? So more diplomatically, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called it an active threat, drawing more attention to the emergency directive that the Department of Homeland Security Cybersecurity Agency sent out on March 3rd. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has warned about it as well, as has former Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency Director Christopher Krebs in the White House National Security Council as well, right? So that is a big deal. And obviously, we can see a tweet from Chris Krebs. It's saying that this is the real deal. If your organization runs on OWA server exposed to the internet, assume compromise between February 26th and March 3rd. Check for 8-character ASPX files in one of your files in your computers. It's C semicolon dash dash inet pub dash ww root dash ASP.NET underscore client dash system dash web. If you get a hit on that search, you are now in incident response mode, right? So Jake Sullivan also tweeted, "We are closely tracking Microsoft's emergency patch for previously unknown vulnerabilities in Exchange Server software and reports of potential compromises of U.S. think tanks and defense industrial base entities. We encourage network owners to patch ASAP," right? So they've been warning, right? And even you have a tweet from the National Security Council: "Patching and mitigation is not remediation. if the servers have already been compromised. It is essential that any organization with a vulnerable server take immediate measures to determine if they're already targeted, right? So that is coming from the National Security Council, guys. So this is a big deal. At this point, the message should be clear to anyone who installed a local Microsoft Exchange server to 2010, 2013, or 2019 needs to patch and scan, but we're only beginning to understand the scope of the damage. Hackers reportedly installed malware that can let them right back into those servers again, and we don't yet know what they might have already taken. We are undertaking a whole government response to assess and address the impact, reads part of an email from White House official, according to Bloomberg. Microsoft declined to comment about the timing of its patches and disclosures, right? Pointing us to a previous statement instead. We are working closely with the CISA, other government agencies, and security companies to ensure we are providing the best possible guidance and mitigation for our customers. The protection uh, the best protection is to apply updates as soon as possible across all impacted systems. We continue to help customers by providing additional investigation and mitigation guidance. Impacted customers should contact our support teams for additional help and resources, guys. So if you guys are experiencing some weird things that are happening, and if you're on the Microsoft Exchange, network or server, and you're experiencing weird thing happening, with your applications, with your files, or anything like that, please, guys, contact Microsoft support so they'll be able to help you out too, guys. Or really, maybe just remove yourself from that Exchange server completely and move over to another server, right? Try to find something else somewhere else, right? Where you can work, right? And you can store your files and store your information safely, right? So it looks like Microsoft is working hard to get and mitigate this process, not only patch it, but to get rid of it, to maybe, come up with something else. But this is a cybersecurity threat, guys. So be very, very careful. If you want to learn more about this information too, this is why we come out with information like this so you guys can stay safe. If you guys are using, Microsoft products and stuff like that, please, guys, just check it out. Please, guys, follow us on LinkedIn, click into the article. You guys can learn more about it there too, guys. All right. Moreover, on SpaceX, Tesla, right? So SpaceX moves to beam Starlink internet into trucks, boats, and aircrafts too, guys. So SpaceX is seeking regulatory approval to connect its rapidly growing network of internet beaming Starlink satellites to cars, trucks, shipping boats, and aircrafts, right? So the request filed last Friday with the Federal Communications Commission marks SpaceX's biggest step yet toward connecting Starlink to the automotive sector, right? So a potentially lucrative line of business that would expand the company's current stationary offerings from rural homes, guys. So that is amazing. So they're looking to bring internet beaming satellites to cars, to trucks, to shipping boats. And of course, SpaceX Tesla owner Elon Musk would think of something like this. This is very, very intuitive. And honestly, this would be very, very interesting too, guys, right? So this is going to be an interesting move. And so what does that mean? Let's read more information, about really how really that affects, that affects us, right? The average person using, these devices. So the March 5th FCC filing asks for a blanket license authorizing operation of Starlink terminals on so-called Earth stations in motion, an umbrella term for cars, trucks, maritime vessels, and aircrafts. No longer are users willing to forego connectivity while on the move, whether driving a truck across the country, moving a freighter from Europe to U.S. port, or while on a domestic or international flight, the filing read. So smaller passenger vehicles may have to wait, not connecting Tesla cars to Starlink as our terminal is much too big, SpaceX SpaceX CEO Elon Musk tweeted on Monday, responding to an article on the FCC filing. This is for aircraft, ships, large trucks, and RVs. So more on these bigger types of cargo, right? Of product, right? Of vehicles, right? So with over 1,000 satellites in space, SpaceX Starlink has at least 10,000 users through an invite-only beta program, right? It started last year, right? So the beta program is currently aimed at rural parts of the US that have little to no internet connectivity. A Starlink kit with an antenna and router costs $500 plus $99 per month for speeds around 70 to 130 millibytes per second. Last month, SpaceX started accepting refundable 99 Starlink pre-orders for a limited number of users per coverage area, which so far includes parts of the US, Canada, and the United Kingdom. SpaceX request to Starlink with vehicles didn't give any details on any new antenna designs, but it said they are electrically identical to its previous authorized consumer user terminals, but have mountings that allow them to be installed on vehicles, vessels, and aircrafts. The mobile antennas would fit on massive ships, on top of semi-trucks, or in consumer cases, on passenger cars, or pleasure boats, another SpaceX filing said. Unlike Starlink's current terminals, which come with mounts and are installed by the customer, the vehicle antennas will be set up by qualified installers, right? So throwing a Starlink terminal on a moving vehicle isn't a surprising move to SpaceX, right? Which last year asked for an experimental FCC permit to operate Starlink terminals on Gulfstream jets, right? And though Musk played down the prospect of equipping Teslas and Starlink terminals, today he said in an earnings call in January 2020 that is certainly something that could happen in the coming years, right? So definitely beware, guys. If you're in the vehicles, this could happen in the next coming years. Very interesting. With the new filing, SpaceX now appears to be more focused on their mobile connectivity efforts, hinting they may plan to target their service at drivers, ship operators, and air travelers in the United States and abroad. Offering Starlink internet to those customers will allow operators and passengers to access services that enable increased productivity, SpaceX said. The filing also mentioned that it would enhance the security of mobile platforms, but provided no further insights into those plans, right? So very, very, very interesting, guys, right? So definitely keep you guys updated on that too, guys. If you want to learn more about this interesting move that SpaceX is doing with their Starlink terminal, please, guys, follow us on LinkedIn. Click into the article. You guys can learn more about it there too, guys. All right, so moreover on Microsoft, so Microsoft Surface Laptop 4 will reportedly include both AMD and Intel configurations. For a while, Microsoft Surface Laptop 3 was one of the best laptops you could buy. Microsoft is now planning its successor, the Surface Laptop 4, and it appears WinFuture has obtained details about this upcoming device. Per this report, the laptop is coming sometime in April. So the biggest news is that the new Surface Laptop will come with both Intel and AMD options. So the AMD models will include chips from the Ryzen 4000 mobile series, including the Ryzen 5 4680U and the Ryzen 7 49080U. These aren't AMD's top guns. The current gen Ryzen 5000 mobile series was announced earlier this year. The Intel models will have Intel's latest 11th gen CPUs, though including the Core 15 1145G7 and the Core i7, right? So the Core i7 1185G7, right? So this laptop is going to be a really, really big laptop. This also could be, again, one of the best laptops that we see in 2021. We all know how the Microsoft Surface Laptop 3 was one of the best laptops that you can buy earlier, right, in 2020 and 2019, right? Now we're going to see the Surface Laptop 4, right? And it's going to have updated, AMD models, both Intel and AMD options too. And those both are going to be working very, very smoothly, very crisp, very, very nice, right? And it's going to come out sometime in April. So we'll definitely let you guys know more information on that, especially if there's any, details of, if there's any event launch that's going to be about the laptop, we'll definitely let you guys know too. So if you want to learn more about this laptop too, guys, please, guys, follow us on LinkedIn, click into the article, and you guys can learn more about it there too. All right. So that is pretty much the news that we're going to be taking for today, guys. Obviously there is more news on our LinkedIn page that you guys can go and follow. You guys can scroll through and read through as well. You guys can also follow us on our other social media platforms as well, and our other social media pages. Please, guys, visit us on our website, our official website, where you can read our official blog as well too. It's called electroniceditions.net. That's electroniceditions.net. Electronic Editions is one word, .net. All right. And we'll definitely see you guys soon, the next one. All right. Just have a great day. Stay clean. Wash your hands. Stay healthy.